been warned not to be greedy and not to pick a fight with Israel. In today's passage, 2 Kings 14:11-22, we're told he would not listen. Thank you for joining us today as we study together, digging for scriptural gems. So Judah, led by Amaziah, and Israel, led by King Jehoash, fight a battle, and as expected, as predicted, Amaziah is defeated. And the text says those who remained, quote, fled to their tents. The next thing we learn is that Jehoash captures Amaziah, goes to Jerusalem, tears down about 600 feet of its wall, and if that's not enough, he takes all the gold and the silver and the utensils found in the house of the Lord, as well as in the king's palace, plus he takes hostages and returns to Samaria. Eventually, Jehoash dies, is buried with his fathers in Samaria, and his son, Jeroboam, takes his place. Meanwhile, Amaziah lives another 15 years. We do learn further down in verse 19 that some people conspired against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, where they caught up with him using assassins, and they had him killed. Now his body was returned, the text says, on horses to Jerusalem to be buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the people of Judah installed his 16-year-old son, Azariah, as king. Now we're told that Azariah built Elath and restored it to Judah. Let's stop there and dig further. It's interesting that after Jehoash warned Amaziah and the latter didn't listen, it was Jehoash, according to the NET Bible, that attacked. But also remember that Amaziah had reason to believe he would be successful given what he had recently pulled off. David Gusick says Amaziah had a mighty army and Jehoash had a weak army. Yet God gave Israel the victory over Judah to rebuke the idolatry of Amaziah. It came from God that he might give them into the hand of their enemies because they sought the gods of Edom. So reads 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verse 20. Commentator Dilday says, some commentators believe the assassins who put Amaziah to death in verse 19 may have been the very children whom Amaziah had spared when he killed those who had killed his father. Now they in turn were exacting vengeance for Amaziah's executions. End of quote. Wiseman gives us a heads up on when his son got to be king. He says the election of Amaziah's son, Azariah, may refer to an earlier time when, quote, all the people had taken Azariah when he was 16 years old and made him king while Amaziah had been a prisoner. Now, what lessons can we take from this short study today? Well, for starters, we need to learn not to get involved in things that are bound to hurt us. Today's world is no time to show off, thinking we're stronger or smarter or richer or whatever. We should do no boasting in our own powers or abilities or possessions. People will gang up on us. They will outnumber us. Let's let God fight all our battles for us. Second, we must realize if we pursue things, fame or fortune or victory over others, we may be doing it at the peril or risk of our own loved ones. I'm reminded of the books by Charles Dickens, the Old Curiosity Shop, Book 1 and Book 2. The doting grandfather had great hopes of winning with his gambling so he could provide well for his needy granddaughter. But in the end, he lost everything, and she lost everything. Don't be like that. Be wise. Don't risk having an affair and leaving your spouse while saying you love your children. You'll undoubtedly hurt them. And only by God's grace could the situation be salvaged. But the pain will be there for them and you. Finally, let's not complete only a portion of the to-do list that God has given us specifically. Amaziah did a lot of good things, but he didn't do all that God had wanted him to do. What have you and I still have left on our to-do list from God? Something to think about. Next time we'll look at Jeroboam II's reign over Israel. Join us for that. In the meantime, if you like what you're seeing or hearing, please indicate that by liking this video. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Digging for Scriptural Gems. It's totally free, and you'll get notified when we put something up. In the meantime, don't forget to study your Bible. Have a good one.